The Book of Enoch is one of the most fascinating and mysterious ancient texts. Though it is not part of the traditional Bible for most religious groups, it has captured the imagination of scholars, theologians, and readers for centuries. This ancient Jewish text offers a unique view of angels, heaven, hell, and the final judgment. It even influenced parts of the New Testament, despite being excluded from most versions of the Bible. In this essay, we'll explore what the Book of Enoch is, what it contains, why it matters, and how it has influenced both religious and literary thought throughout history. 1. What is the Book of Enoch? The Book of Enoch, also known as Worst Enoch, is an ancient Jewish religious work attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Enoch is mentioned briefly in the Bible in Genesis 5:24 as a man who walked with God and was taken to heaven without dying. The book that carries his name expands this short reference into an elaborate vision of heaven, angels, judgment, and more. The Book of Enoch is not just one book, but a collection of 5 major sections: the Book of the Watchers, the Book of Parables, or Similitudes, the Astronomical Book, the Book of Dream Visions, the Epistle of Enoch. These texts were written in stages, probably between 300 BCE and 100 BCE, although some parts may be older. They were originally written in Aramaic and Hebrew, but most of the surviving texts are in Ge'ez, an ancient Ethiopian language. 2. The Book of the Watchers. This is the first and most well-known part of ON-Enoch. It tells the story of the Watchers, a group of angels who were sent to watch over humans but ended up breaking divine rules. They descended to earth, fell in love with human women, and had children with them, the Nephilim, giants who caused chaos and violence. The Watchers also taught humans forbidden knowledge, such as metalworking, astrology, and cosmetics, which led to moral decay. This story offers a unique explanation for why the world became corrupt before the flood of Noah. God, angered by the disobedience of the angels and the corruption of humanity, orders the archangel Uriel to warn Noah of the coming flood. The rebellious angels are imprisoned in the depths of the earth until Judgment Day. This story serves as an early interpretation of how evil entered the world and why the flood was necessary. 3. The Book of Parables. The second section, the Book of Parables, introduces the concept of the Son of Man, a messianic figure who is chosen by God to judge both the angels and the humans. This section has strong similarities to Christian ideas about Jesus as the Son of Man, who comes to judge the world. Here, the Son of Man sits on a throne of glory and judges the wicked, including kings, rulers, and sinners who have oppressed the righteous. The book promises that the righteous will live forever, while the wicked will be cast into darkness. This part of Enoch is especially important because it seems to anticipate many themes later found in the New Testament, particularly the Book of Revelation. Some scholars believe early Christians were influenced by this section of Enoch in shaping their views on the Messiah and the Last Judgment. 4. The Astronomical Book. Also called the Book of the Heavenly Luminaries, this section is more scientific and deals with the movements of the sun, moon, stars, and planets. It presents a detailed calendar based on a 364-day year and explains how heavenly bodies follow divine laws. This book reflects an early attempt to understand the natural world in a religious context. It insists that the cycles of the heavens are signs of God's order, and that any deviation from this divine calendar, such as the lunar calendar used by other groups, is sinful. While it may seem less dramatic than the tales of angels and judgment, this book shows how ancient people linked science and faith. It also shows the importance of timekeeping and the Nephilim, giants of mystery and myth. Introduction. Among the many enigmatic figures in ancient scriptures and mythology, few are as captivating and mysterious as the Nephilim. Mentioned briefly but significantly in the Hebrew Bible, the Nephilim have sparked centuries of speculation, theological debate, and literary imagination. Their identity, origin, and nature remain ambiguous, giving rise to a multitude of interpretations. Are they fallen angels, giants, ancient heroes, The very vagueness of the term has kept scholars, theologians, and creatives enthralled. This essay will explore the historical, biblical, and cultural interpretations of the Nephilim, tracing their evolution from early scriptural references to their modern portrayals in popular culture. Chapter 1. Biblical Origins. The primary biblical references to the Nephilim appear in two places, Genesis 6:1-4 and Numbers 13:33. The Genesis passage states, "When human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, 'My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown.'" Genesis 6:1-4 NIV. This passage raises more questions than answers. Who are the sons of God? Who are the Nephilim? Are they the same as the offspring? Are they distinct beings? The ambiguity of the text has led to divergent interpretations throughout history. Chapter 2. Interpretations of Sons of God. There are three main traditional interpretations of the term Sons of God. The angelic interpretation. This is the oldest interpretation and is supported by ancient Jewish texts like the Book of Enoch. It suggests that sons of God were fallen angels who mated with human women, resulting in hybrid offspring, the Nephilim. This view underpins the notion of the Nephilim as giants and beings of great power. The Sethite view, a later interpretation from early Christian thinkers like Augustine and many reformers, holds that the sons of God were the godly descendants of Seth, while the daughters of men were the ungodly descendants of Cain. The union between the two lines represents the moral corruption of mankind rather than supernatural hybridization. The royalty-nobility interpretation. Some scholars argue that sons of God refers to ancient kings or nobles who practiced polygamy and tyranny. The Nephilim in this view are simply powerful warriors or tyrants, not necessarily supernatural beings. The ambiguity of the Hebrew phrase, B'nai ha-Elohim, sons of God, allows for all these interpretations, and the lack of clarity in the Genesis passage has preserved the debate to this day. Chapter 3. The Book of Enoch and Extra-Biblical Sources. The Book of Enoch, a pseudepigraphical Jewish text dated between 300 BCE and 100 BCE, elaborates heavily on the Genesis account. Enoch names the fallen angels, called Watchers, and details their descent to earth, their forbidden unions with human women, and their corrupting influence on humanity. The offspring of these unions are described as giants of enormous size and insatiable hunger, who ultimately bring chaos to the earth. And they became pregnant, and they bare great giants, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. 1 Enoch 7:2-5. The Book of Enoch was widely read among early Jewish sects and early Christians, and it profoundly influenced Jewish angelology and demonology. Although not included in the canonical Bible, except by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, it played a significant role in shaping the Nephilim mythos.